What are the 5 mistakes to avoid when moving to Hernando Beach, Florida that can cost thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars? I'm here to break them down for you today using a list of mistakes that I've seen people make or heard horror stories about over the last 19 years of selling homes here. My hope is that you guys do not make the same mistakes. So it's super important that you watch this to the end and consider all of the things I'm about to tell you. As a local real estate expert and resident of 19 years, I have the inside scoop and I'm bringing you the stuff you need to know. So settle in, grab your snacks and enjoy the video. Hey guys, thanks for finding the channel where we go through the pros and cons, things you need to know, cost of living, and everything else associated with living in Spring Hill, Brooksville, Wesley Chapel, Hernando Beach, and all of the Tampa Bay suburbs. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel and be sure to hit the notifications bell so you get alerted when we release new videos. I love making these and sharing my knowledge with you guys. I think it's really valuable for you folks and I get a ton of positive feedback, so thank you for that. Be sure to hit me up if you want to speak more about the options, about moving to any of these areas, or about the homes that are available. For now, I want to get back to the video. Okay guys, so mistake number 5 that people make when moving to Hernando Beach, Florida, and you're probably not going to believe this, is that they fail to factor in that there is no beach in Hernando Beach. Yes, I know. So people say to me, why is it called Hernando Beach when there's no beach? And it kind of is true and it's not. So there are some man-made little beachy areas within Hernando Beach. So I'm thinking of Rogers Park, for example, where there's a very small strip of sand that's been dumped in there, or Pine Island Beach, which is just a little bit outside of Hernando Beach, which is really the closest thing we have locally. Now, if you're thinking of beaches in Florida, you're probably thinking of the miles and miles of white sand, and you're probably thinking of crystal clear waters. That's what I think of when I think of beaches. And those are like St. Pete Beach, Clearwater Beach, which are literally the best beaches in the country, if not the world. But we don't have those here in Hernando Beach. Now, what we do have is very sufficient if you want to pop along for a couple of hours and don't want to drive an hour, hour and 15, hour and 20 to those other beaches. But if you're looking for more of that vacation feel, you're definitely going to want to go further south and head to some of those hot spots that I mentioned before. Now, I'll never forget when we came here on a family vacation in 1999 and we were staying in Spring Hill. And we thought, man, let's get out and explore and go to Hernando Beach and spend a day at the beach. And so you have to remember, this is back in the day before GPS on the phones. We're driving around and we're trying to find this beach down there. And we keep stopping off and asking locals and they're giving us some really strange looks. And eventually someone was pleasant enough to say to us, where the heck are you looking for a beach around here? And so they did point us in the direction of Pine Island, and it was suffice for what we needed that day. But it's really a bizarre concept that they call it Hernando Beach, and there is no natural beach there. So please be sure to do your research. If you're someone who's a beach bum, you know what, Hernando Beach might not be the place for you, but I do think it's a fantastic place. We love it down there. My parents have had a house down there before as well. Whenever we have guests coming from out of town, we want to go down there and check out the restaurants. It's like a real cool vibe down there with live music and stuff. And if you're looking for somewhere just to go with the kids for a couple of hours or to get away from the hustle and bustle and just enjoy a sunset on your own with peace and quiet without having to fight the traffic, then those places like Pine Island and Rogers Park might be suffice. But like I said, no real beach in Hernando Beach. Mistake number 4 that people make when moving to Hernando Beach is they don't know the difference between direct Gulf access and the indirect Gulf access. So you can pretty much draw a line down Hernando Beach between direct and indirect Gulf access, and the difference is considerable. So for indirect Gulf access, you're gonna have to go through a boat lift to be able to access the Gulf of Mexico. And the boat lift can only handle boats of a certain length and a certain weight. But that's not even the whole thing. You also have to go under a bridge once you've gone through the boat lift. So if your boat is over a certain height, and then depending on what the tide is doing, you're not gonna be able to get under that bridge either. So if you're happy just kind of pottering around on the water, up and down the canals of Hernando Beach South, for example, and you're not fussed about getting out to the open Gulf of Mexico, indirect is going to be fine. But if you want to get out on the open Gulf, do some deep sea fishing, if you want to get out on the flats and enjoy the party atmosphere out there and enjoy all that Florida has to offer in that regard, you're going to want to be on the north side of Hernando Beach, or you can dock your boat dry storage at one of the marinas and have them put it into the water when you need it. But we have had so many horror stories over the years where people bought a house in Hernando Beach South and the agent didn't tell them that it was indirect access, or they didn't do their research properly as to what the capacity of the boat lift is. So please consider what your needs are, consider what you want to use your boat for. to decide if you want to be on indirect or direct Gulf access. Mistake number 3 that people make when moving to Hernando Beach, Florida is failing to consider the extra costs that might be involved. So of course, I'm talking about your traditional costs like closing costs, moving costs, also homeowners association dues, but the big one in Hernando Beach is flood insurance. Now, flood insurance is a hot topic in Florida at the moment for a couple of reasons. One is the higher number of hurricanes that have hit ground over the last couple of years, which have increased the flood insurance rates. And the second one is that they keep talking about the subsidies for flood insurance going away, which is going to bump up the price as well. Now, if you're going to be on Hernando Beach, you're going to need to consider the cost of the flood insurance. So make sure you speak to an insurance expert where they can give you a quote on the property so that you're familiar with all of the costs that are going to be associated with your loan. For some people, paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a year on flood insurance isn't worth it and they decide to look elsewhere. They might decide to move a little bit further inland in one of the nice gated communities and then just dry store their boat down at the marina and use it on a weekend. It's really personal preference, but we do see people consistently underestimate the costs in general, but particularly the flood insurance and homeowners insurance costs. So guys, hopefully you're getting value from this video about the 5 mistakes to avoid when moving to Hernando Beach, Florida. If you are, please be sure to do a few things for me. Like the video. Be sure to comment below with what you think about the content, and then be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications so you can be alerted to all of the videos we release about Hernando Beach, as well as the surrounding areas. And remember that we are real estate experts. We've been here for 19 years and helped hundreds and thousands of families move to the area. We would love to assist you in your next purchase. You can call, text, or email us at the information below. One of us is nearly always available, and we are nerds, so we love speaking about local real estate. But for now, let's dive right back into the video. I hope you enjoy the rest of it. Okay guys, now mistake number 2 that we see people make is by using the wrong real estate agent. And I understand it could be easy for me to set this up because I am a real estate agent, but believe me when I tell you that a bad agent can cost you tens of thousands of dollars on your purchase. There's barely a week goes by where we don't do one of our morning calls and someone says, you're not going to believe the other agent on the other side of this deal. They did XYZ and man, their customer's not even going to know that it's cost them thousands of dollars. We truly do see it all. And I'll give you some very, very easy examples. I've had people come to me within a week of closing on a property where they were not aware that they weren't able to park RVs at the property. And it's really such a huge part of their life that they don't want to go park it up in a facility somewhere. They weren't told by the agent, they didn't do their own due diligence correctly, and it's cost them tons of money. If you're looking at waterfront properties, sometimes in areas there's direct access and indirect Gulf access where you have to go through a boat lift to get there. Guess what? If your boat that you have is bigger than what the capacity is for the boat lift, you're going to find yourself buying a new boat or not being able to get it out. Pretty expensive mistake again. And then how about buying a property on the wrong side of the street even? There's literally communities where being one side of the street to the next can affect the value of $15,000, $20,000. You might not readily notice, but the agent should do. So always reach out to an agent who has a full grasp of the area, knows what they're doing, and is not playing with your money. Now, like I said, our contact information is here. You can reach out to us if you have any questions. I'm gonna get back and talk about mistake number 1, and we can talk offline about this. And then mistake number 1 that we see people make, and again, it's really easy for me to set this up as a real estate agent, but it's that people don't get pre-approved in the correct timeline. We've seen people look at homes for months and months on end, and we've encouraged them to get their pre-approval letter, and they say, I'm good for it. When the time comes, I'll do it. And guess what? They go to get pre-approved when they're about 60 days out from wanting to move to the area and are ready to make offers on homes, only to find that they have a black mark on their credit for when they didn't pay their car payment 2 years ago that they totally forgot about, or they neglected to remember the student loans that they have that count towards their debt to income ratio. And all of a sudden they're not able to purchase properties and they have to go into a rental for a year. So please guys, there's never a time that's too early to reach out to a mortgage professional to talk about your options. They can talk about credit repair, they can help you clear up little marks on your credit that can be catastrophic if discovered at the last moment, but can be really easy to overcome if you do it in time. Also, if you're rushing around at the end, you might be forced into a loan that gives you a higher interest rate. It's gonna cost you tens of thousands more dollars over the course of the loan. And I hate it when people end up shopping in a price point that's way above what they actually end up qualifying for, because they fall in love with all of these homes that are much nicer than they end up being able to afford, and they end up with a real dissatisfaction when they end up purchasing a property. So please, reach out to a local trusted mortgage professional. We have a list of people we can recommend to you. but it's essential that you do it in a timely manner so you know that you're going to be able to move when you want to. You can make sure you get the best loan that's available for you, make sure you're shopping in the right price point, and make sure that you're comfortable with the payments ahead of time. So guys, that's a wrap for the 5 mistakes that people make when moving to Hernando Beach, Florida. Like I said, I've seen it all over the years, and I hope that these mistakes that others have made mean that you're not going to make the same mistake as well. So please be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. Let me know if I missed anything so that when I remake this video in the future, I can include those as well. Now, if you've watched the video and you think you can avoid all these mistakes and you're ready to take the next step, please be sure to reach out to me or the team at the information below. We'd love to help you, love to talk about it more. We take great joy in sharing our local secrets about the area, as well as helping people make their dream move. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and then hit the notification bell. And please watch our other videos to get a better overview as to what life is like locally, as well as do home tours. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching the video. Stay safe. I'm Ross Hardy from the Hardy team. It's time to love where you live.